Welcome to Child Care Rockstar Radio. I am your host, Kris Murray. Child care leaders around the globe are breaking through challenges, leading the way in innovation, testing new best practices, and impacting children and families in a much more powerful and positive way than ever before. Each week, join me for interviews with early childhood leaders and experts that will leave you inspired to become the next child care rock star. Now, let's go. This is Child Care Rockstar Radio, episode 210, featuring Dominique Gill. Welcome back, y'all. I am very excited today to introduce you to my friend Dominique. She is a member of the Child Care Success Academy. She is an owner of a beautiful school in Smyrna, Tennessee. The name of her brand is Unique Kids. And in this episode, you're going to feel the true heart of someone who really, really, really loves children. It's undeniable. It's palpable. And how her school came about is completely organic. I love her growth journey. Dominique is a mom of 6 children. Actually, she is a mother of 9 children, She has 3 of her own. She adopted 2, and she's fostering 4. So 4 plus 2 plus 3 am I doing my math right? Yes, that's 9 children. Holy cow. So of course I had to get the full story on all of that. What an amazing woman. And I just can't wait for you to meet her. Here we are in mid-September. We are officially fully into back to school season. And I hope that you are doing fantastic with your enrollment. I hope your marketing is bringing you lots of new families. I hope that you are full or close to full. And if you're not, that is okay too, because we've been talking a lot about the fact that our industry is going through a bit of a recorrection. Diving into the podcast in recent episodes, you will learn what are some of the trends that have brought us to this place. And my guidance for you is that if you're feeling stressed, strapped, worn out, and you need some fresh strategies of what's working now to get your full enrollment rocked and get your full staffing rocked, then you must come to the Child Care Success Summit. We are close to selling out the ballroom, and you got to go now to childcaresuccesssummit.com. We will be talking about what's going on in the industry with this industry correction, what's going on with, in some markets, an oversupply and lower demand for childcare, and also some people hitting the ceiling of pricing, what's going on in inflation, and what's going on with you, with your costs inside of your school, and how to keep costs low, how to reap a few more points down to your profit margin and make more money in your schools so that you can survive and thrive. So if that all sounds good to you and you're not registered yet for the Child Care Success Summit, then go now and get your tickets before we sell out. We actually may even be sold out at the time that I'm recording this podcast. So go check it out. And I hope to see you there. I will be there for the entire summit. I cannot wait to share with you some of the, I'll call it marketing 101, things that I've taught since the very beginning as the quote unquote OG of marketing child cares in this country. And I started teaching that in 2008. So before any other coaches came on the scene to teach about childcare marketing, I was diving in, and I've written 2 books about it. And that's what a lot of this podcast has been about. So regardless, I hope to see you in Atlanta, guys. We have a gorgeous venue, and I can't wait to see you there. Today's episode, I titled, When You Love Kids This Much, Success Comes Naturally. And that's the vibe that you're going to feel from Miss Dominique Gill. She is such a heart-centered leader. She's a little bit more of an introvert. So I did pull some really good, juicy stuff out of her on this episode. And I want to thank her for getting out of her comfort zone, as many of our guests do, to join me on this podcast. You're going to learn about what to do when you have staff that show up and they want you to treat them fairly, and they want you to treat them the same as everybody else in the school. There are some pieces of accountability that come into play in your leadership. Leadership can be extremely challenging in an early childhood environment. I don't have to tell you that. So you're going to learn some new aspects for how to navigate the waters of leading teams inside of a childcare facility. We're going to talk about raising prices. We're going to talk about culture, how to engage your team, how to market your school to get full. Dominique does some great grassroots marketing in her neighborhoods and in her communities, and we're going to talk about that and so much more in this episode. Also, Dominique went from home to center. She started out as a family childcare business, as many of you have, and she decided she wanted to play a bigger game. So she talks about the mindset that was required to go from home to center and how she's blossomed and bloomed as a growth mindset oriented human and leader. So all of this will be shared coming up. And otherwise, I don't think I have anything else to share. So why wait? Let's just go there. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to today's episode. And let's meet Dominique Gill right now. Let's go. Welcome back, folks. I am very excited to introduce you to my guest today, Dominique Gill. Dominique, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me today.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Where are you right now?
Today I'm at home and I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
All right. Tell us more about your program, what you do in this amazing world of early childhood education.
So I have two centers. One is in Nashville, one is in Smyrna, Tennessee.
Okay.
We're just right now in the process of getting the new one open in Smyrna, but the other one's been there for about 7 years, and it's been great. Like everything's been going the way it needs to go. So
cool. And how big is the one in Smyrna going to be?
We're shooting for 99.
Okay. That's a fun capacity number. And how big is your one in Nashville?
We have 50 there.
Okay, cool. And tell us a little bit more about your journey. What are some highlights of how you've come in to be an owner of early learning programs, and how long have you been in the field?
So it started really early on. I was a teen parent, so immediately I needed to find daycare, but I just couldn't afford daycare. Mm-hmm. So, I just kind of branched off and I was, did a trade for a trade. Like, my kid comes here, I'll come here and work. So I did that for at least like 6 years. And then once that center moved to another spot, like all the parents was like, where are you going? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's all I've done is this. So I did an in-home childcare for 4 years. And that was great until it was to no room at all. So
right.
And we started branching out to finding something bigger, and which is where we found our location of 50.
Mm-hmm. And when was that?
That was right in the middle of COVID.
Okay.
We applied for license in like February of that year. And then they started their inspections, and then they stopped their inspections. It was like March. They were like, no, we're not coming out no more. And so we had to stop until September.
Mm-hmm. So then in September, so how long did it take you to then open? Did you open in September, or it took you a few more months? Okay.
Yeah, I opened in September. So in the process, they were still trying to license me. We were just going at a slower pace to make sure that nobody else was there, and the 6 feet apart limit and things. So
right.
We did that, and then we were open in September.
Okay, cool. How long did it take you to get to where you were covering your costs? Like maybe you didn't get full, but was enrollment a slow journey or a fast journey for you?
Well, luckily in Tennessee, we had the essential workers. So right off the bat, it was like, as long as you are essential workers, the state was paying for all the childcare. Cool. So we were like really full. Like it took about 3 months.
Okay.
So 3 months, and then like we've never had an opening. Like
since.
Yeah, it's like if you catch it, you catch it. Otherwise, there's never like a blank spot open.
Right, and that's a good place to be. And that's, we talk a lot in the Academy about pros and cons of the sizes of centers. So yes, a 50 child center typically will get fuller much faster and stay full. Versus having 110 or 150. But there's also economies of scale at the larger sites versus things that you're not going to be able to do as big. Like you're not going to be able to scale out your leadership team as big with the 50 child school. But you can still, certainly you have a director. Do you also have an assistant director or just a director there? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So right now I'm still the director and I have an assistant.
Okay, cool. Tell us a little bit about your family life. What do you love to do personally? And do you have, you said you became a teen mom. So tell us more about your child or children, et cetera.
Yeah. So my family life is really big. I did have my son when I was 16 and he is now 16. And in the process, I have 2 more birth children that is 6 and 4.
All right.
And then I adopted 2 kids. And then we fostered 4 more kids.
So wow. Oh, wow. So you adopted 2. How old are they?
17 and 14.
Oh my goodness. Teenagers.
Yeah.
That's an amazing contribution to youngsters.
They weren't teenagers then, but they are now.
Right. And then are you still fostering 4 kids today? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And how old are they?
They are there. I have 2 of them that's 8, one of them that's 9, and one of them that is 7. So like 7.
Oh wow. So they're all right in that same age.
Yeah.
Well, you're a very busy lady.
It's always something to do.
I hope that you are figuring out who's going to help you with all that laundry.
It just, it's like every Sunday it's busy.
Okay. It's chores day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to get help. You got to get everybody to pitch in. If you have that big of a family.
All hands on deck, we're good to go.
Yes. All hands on deck. I have 2 children. The reason why I never had more is because of the laundry. I'm just going to say it.
Really?
Yes, truly. One for each hand too. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
But yeah. Plus I was an older mom. Yeah. Like you're a young mom, so you got all that energy. I was an older mom. I had my kids at 35 and 39. So yeah, there's different seasons. Yeah. In motherhood. So very cool. Well, that's an amazing way to give back. I love that you're doing that for those very lucky children. Yeah. And still, working towards building your next location. And that's going to be another amazing expansion of your journey to have a second school in Smyrna. Tell us a little bit about, I don't think you said the name of your school. Tell us about your brand and what makes you special and unique in your market.
Oh, my center is called, both of them are called Unique Kids Childcare Center.
Okay, cool.
We pretty much got that name from, like, my name is Dominique, so it's like unique, like the end party, and then it's just like flows with all the things that we have going on in our life. Like, and pretty much our overall thing is it frames from like the foster kids, our kids, and it's a big world of differences. So what we say is like, find your uniqueness in a world of differences. So that's where we get that from, because it's just sometimes our kids are from different areas of the world, the city and situations, but they're still unique in some type of way. So figuring it out.
I love that. So is celebrating diversity part of your brand, would you say, or?
Yes.
Cool. Definitely. Awesome. Yeah. And the Nashville area is booming with population. So it's good to be in an area of growth, because that's going to also help you stay full and be able to expand. And I'm sure lots of different types of nationalities and people are moving in to the Nashville metro area. So that helps you with your differences component. So I love that. That's very, very cool. What else about your center is something that makes it unique or something you're proud of?
So pretty much it's like a family center. Everybody, like me and my mom, is there every day. So, and we do have other family members that is there, that has been there, and that it's just been uh, us bringing on other team members of different races and things like that. It's just been, we make them all feel comfortable. And so they are just like, they love us because we are more personal
Mm-hmm.
and just cater to the needs of like what they need. And
Mm,
we're really big on family with anybody. So like, that's one of the things that makes us a little different is like if our teachers have issues with their families or anything like that, we are like super supportive and we want them to have time to be there for their families.
mm-hmm. Cool. Sounds very much like a loving and nurturing environment
Yeah.
and very much not corporate. Like it's
Right.
the opposite of corporate,
It is.
kind of.
It actually is. And it's like as much as I want to try to like incorporate the corporate world, we do have like, rules and things, but um that's just one of the soft spots of like, let's just, because I mean, I have a lot of kids myself, so anything can happen overnight. Like somebody might wake up and just be on the way out and just throw up. So I don't want to
Right.
anybody around to feel that, if this happens then I can't have a job. So like take care of your child, please.
Right. Right. Well, that's great. Yeah, I'm sure that's definitely touches the hearts of your employees and your leaders. So that's great. So let's talk a little bit more about that, the culture of your program. And you came from a home environment, right? So, and so many people that I have been interviewing lately on this podcast have been home based,
Yeah.
home to center, home to center, home to center. My goodness.
We needed to see if this is what we wanted to do.
Yeah, no, and it's definitely been part of my journey because I started out helping people with a kit for how to
Yeah.
start a home daycare center and give them like forms and stuff like
Yeah.
that as I was just selling that online. And then I branched into more of the center stuff. So as far as my business coach journey, it's the same thing, home to center.
Yeah.
So with your culture obviously has probably reflected that
Hmm.
in terms of like what is your vision or some of your core values, anything you want to share about how you set your culture up intentionally to reflect where you want your culture to be.
Yeah, pretty much. It goes back around the whole family situations again, because when we were in home, we did have families there for the 5 years that we were open then. And obviously those kids have went off to school and all that stuff. So we just kind of, keep in touch with all of our families. If we're invited, we're coming. And then what we've seen now with the center is just the importance of the way that those parents felt then, leaving a good impression because now they're all back. Like anytime they've had kids, like they're traveling 45 minutes to an hour to drop their kid off just to come back to us because of, the way we were treated, the way we treated them and been around them and things like that.
Cool. When you become a leader of other employees, because when you're at home, you're not really leading people. You might have one part-time employee or
Yeah,
something.
right.
But when you shift into becoming a leader and more of an owner entrepreneur of a center, your mindset has to shift around leadership and around your own identity and your own leadership capability, right? So how did you make that leap into becoming an effective leader?
Oh, that was really hard. I, I'm honestly telling the truth. That was really hard just because I thought that, my mom and myself was together at home every day. It was great. Everybody loved us, the parents, and let's just do this bigger. And then we get more people and they're like, it was always something going on. And then I'm like, oh, I didn't know if I didn't sign up for this. So
Right.
it really helped when I was like doing this research. I don't even know what I was researching, but I came across like the Child Care Success Company, and I was just like, this might be the only thing that can help me because I didn't know what I was doing, but it was like I couldn't tell the staff I didn't know what I was doing because it was gonna make me look bad. But then,
Right.
yeah, I don't know, like might not be for me for real, but
Right.
just being around other people, even talking and about talking to people that have the same issues that I did, and then there was like a snap. It was like follow these steps here, and then at that point, I started feeling like I had more control over my center, and they didn't just control me because I was
Hmm.
so lost and I just didn't know where to go. So just like following the steps of what I needed to do just really brought me out. And it didn't like overnight me, which was great. It just like we were able to work on one thing at a time, and then I master it and then keep going. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like now I just feel like, it's like second nature.
So, in the business building blocks of starting to grow yourself through the academy, and you have your growth assets and your freedom assets, what is one thing that you recall was a big game changer for you when you built it out?
I mean, one thing that I do remember right off the top of my mind is just surveys, like the surveys for the parents and the surveys for the teachers. Because
Hmm.
in my mind, I always thought like, no, everybody loves me. Like why wouldn't they? This is. But
Right.
and it was like the humbling experience that I did get because I was, even when um, Coach Donna told me to send that out, and I sent it out, but in my own mind, I'm like, I'm still gonna get good reviews because they like this place is great, but it was very humbling. I was like, I was like, wow, I didn't know they felt this way. But it did help me open my eyes in situations like to not neglect these things because this is what they're noticing and like pay more attention to other things like that. So,
So, what was some of the feedback that you got that was eye opening, if you don't mind sharing?
some of it was like management could be better. And I was like, it's great. But it did mention like some of them wanted like vacation time, obviously more pay, but we needed to get to that point. What else was
Hmm.
they saying? They were saying that because we did come from a home daycare into our center, some of the families, like I said, did follow us there. I did have one person reach out and say that they think that everybody should be treated the same. So in that mind frame, we felt like we knew that they were like probably speaking about the parents that was coming from the house because they kind of had more leeway in things. Um, but again, that was more of because I wasn't being a good leader. I was just letting them lead the parents and the staff. And so that just really helped me with talking to my pod members and just being around everybody, like treat everybody the same and then just kind of stand on whatever's in your contract. Like if it's in there, do it. So that
Hmm.
was like fixing my contract was great. So because I would
Hmm.
always be like, just look at the contract. Because I'm not a confrontational person. I don't like to be like make anybody upset or do anything. So I was just always avoid it and just kind of like let them do what they. But then when I put it in a contract, and it was like I had that to lean back on to help me while I was continuing to build my confidence.
Hmm. So, thanks for sharing that. I do feel that the large majority of childcare owners do have more of an avoidant leadership style, management style than confrontational or confident. Like, I feel like one of the things the academy brings is it helps you from hiding because you're nervous to have a open and honest conversation,
Exactly.
potentially a hard conversation. So you kind of, might be more avoidant and just want to please people. Going from
Hmm.
people pleasing to people leading is another way
Yes.
to frame that. So
Yes.
love that you shared that. And I do want to share something that Coach Tamina is known for. One of her quotes is you treat people fairly, but not the same. It perfectly okay as a leader to treat, as long as you're treating people fairly,
Hmm.
but it doesn't have to be identical treatment because your team is not identical.
Right.
You've got an A+ player who has
Yeah.
proven her performance time and time again. You're going to treat her differently, probably,
Yeah.
than you're going to treat your D or C- player because
Yeah.
they've the action is in their how the proof is in the pudding of their behavior. So just wanted to share with the audience, as long as you're treating them fairly based on your policies, you don't have to treat them all exactly the same.
Yeah, that's
So
a good
there's,
that's a good one. I like that.
yeah.
It's actually
Go ahead.
I said, no, that's actually true with just being, because you have some people that can take lead and do it and be that A player, but then you have some that need a little push.
That's right. That's right. And some you're going to give them a little bit more observation and guidance and structure, and some they don't need structure at all. Because
Right.
they're just going to go.
Yeah.
So I love that. Talk a little bit about any, you talked about the surveys and a lesson that you learned, but getting feedback from your parents and your staff on surveys, which is a great one. And I'm really glad that Coach Donna said, just send it.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. Just send it. But what's another time that you can remember that you were facing a really tough challenge? You might even have felt either really overwhelmed, scared, didn't want to get out of bed. You were up in the middle of the night, dealing with something. And then how did you overcome that? What's a, something that was a big challenge for you that you overcame?
It might be something small to others, but to me, it was like huge. It was just even raising my prices, like charging what we were worth. It was like, that was so hard for me. It just, I don't know. I didn't know when to do it, how to do it, how much to do. It was,
Right.
always something that I had feared because I didn't know how people would react or what, So
Sure.
that was really hard. It took a lot of pod calls of, did you do it yet? No. I'm like, not yet. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But it just like, having the accountability partners was like, is just amazing for real because it's just like having those conversations that's like maybe easy to them. It's like, just do it. And it's like, in my mind, I'm like, you don't know. They might be so mad and leave and whatever. But then, so that was hard for me.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people struggle with that when they first, especially when you're in your first few years of owning a center, not knowing how to go about it. And like you said, how much to charge, when to actually put it into place, how to communicate it. And then the fear going into it that you're going to lose families can just grip you. You're like gripped by fear, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm going to do it today. No, not today. Christmas is coming up. And I was like, I didn't know when. And again, Coach Donna was making sure I did it. And I did do it. And that was the hardest thing of this whole thing that I've ever done. It was just raising the prices up. But you would think it would be something else, but it wasn't. That was the biggest thing that was like breaking me down. Then whenever it happened and nobody left, and I'm like, okay.
Right. So I'm going to ask you about that. So nobody left.
No.
And then how much did you end up raising them by on that first raise?
That first raise, I think we went up like $20.
Okay.
Like a big jump for the area that I was in.
Sure. $20 a week.
Yeah. So.
And how did that help your cash flow?
It helped me see a cash flow, to see that it was possible to do. Because according to the number that I needed to raise it to, I didn't do it that high, but I should have. But they didn't leave, so I just kind of did that one, and I was able to see a cash flow that was possible. So that I was able to kind of more so see that if we go up more, then this is where we could be at.
Right.
Potentially have more money and not leave anything on the table. So that's right. That was a good thing with that.
Yeah. And especially if you're full.
Right. And because I didn't have any more, I didn't have any kids to fill up the spot. It was like, okay, so we need to work with what we have in here.
Yes. And from a mindset perspective, you're fully enrolled. I'm sure you're developing a wait list or probably had one already. So if people leave, then you're just going to fill it up again.
Yes.
So
that's been our blessing that we've had. And I was stuck in a number of like, oh, this is all I can make. And then it was like, I had that mind frame. And then it was like, no, there's other things you could do, other ways we could make more money and revenue. So
Yeah. Is there anything else you did in terms of adding other services or birthday parties or anything like that? Have you done anything like that yet?
so yeah, well, we do like little birthday parties and to where like they can have them there.
Mm-hmm.
That works for us.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't as many, but it was like something that we was able to put out there. We do a lot of like, in-house field trips and the funding and after having like partnerships with other companies, it was like just we would ask them to come and it would just be bringing in more income for us. Um, what I didn't know before was like picture days because I was having picture days, but I wasn't benefiting from it. I never knew that you could benefit.
Right.
So then it was like, oh, I could get a percentage, and now I'm going to help you guys sell more pictures with the parents. And
Right.
because the center, get more, money on the back end from it. So
Yes.
little things like that.
Yep. I love that. Those extra revenue generating ideas.
Hmm.
Also looking at your fee structure of your reg fees and re-reg fees, supply fees. Not that you want to nickel and dime parents, but field trip fees definitely. I mean, parents are going to pay for whatever they find to be valuable. And
Right.
that's, part of what you want to do is just look
Like,
at
are
how
you
you,
able to bring in like the supply fee because you have it on the front end, but then that child can start at 6 weeks old, and then now they're there for 5 years, and you haven't had a supply fee for them since then, since they were 6 weeks. So it's kind of like we were able to um, incorporate it every year because we were bringing in new supplies every year.
right.
That worked.
100%. Love it. Um, cool. I forgot to ask you, Dominique, about a fun fact, something that not that many people know about you. What is a fun fact about you?
A fun fact, maybe a lot of people don't realize like I'm more of a friendly person, but I am like the most shyest person in the world. Like I don't like to talk to people. I don't like to do things like big things, and I'm more of a I'll cheer you from the sideline and be amazing. But then it's like, okay, don't call me.
All right. You're definitely an
People don't think
intro.
about it. They don't
Intro.
think that I'm shy, and it's like,
Right.
yeah, no, please call my kids. It's okay. They'll talk.
Well, I have to give you props then for being willing to be on this podcast since you are an introvert.
Yes. Thank you. It was like building the confidence up, and I was like, "Okay, it's coming up."
Yes. No, you're doing great. You're doing great. I know it can be nerve-wracking for some, especially if you're more introverted, but you are doing awesome. But yeah, I don't think I would have guessed that about you because like at our academy parties, you're definitely always on the dance floor.
'Cause
Um,
there, so I gotta go with them. I can't leave them by themselves.
right. Thank you. Because sometimes even you might be pulling me on the dance floor.
I know. It's like, come on, let's go.
So
Everybody,
that's
let's do it.
yeah. Well, and that's if you're not in the academy and you're listening to this and you're always curious about what goes on at our quarterly retreats, we definitely blow off steam.
Yes.
We're a very good group about needing. We know that we all need to blow off steam, and being in the childcare industry can be very stressful. And we are a place where you can definitely have a good time
Yes.
and learn
It's
a lot.
it's really great. It's
Yeah,
really
thanks. Thank you. With regard to accountability, you mentioned that about, holding you accountable to raise your rates, giving
mhm.
you that support, but also being like, hey, have you done it yet? Have you done it yet? So did you have an accountability partner or buddy? Who was your buddy? And tell us more about that. Was it somebody inside your pod
It was
or is it
so when I joined the academy in Vegas,
yep.
um, our first like mastermind was I think it was like that January or February. I think it was January. But we went to
Yes.
Florida. And again, like I haven't like talked to too many people because I didn't like to talk to people. But when I got there, I just sat down and my accountability partner has been since then, Constance. She has been
Nice.
the person. I met her. She just started talking to me and asked me where I was from. And, she was from, Tennessee as well. And I was like,
Mhm.
okay. And she gave me a card and like I reached out. Um, and she was like asking all the questions. Like she remembered everything that I said I was gonna do. And she was asking those questions. And I was like, oh snap, she remembers what I said. And it just kind of made me feel comfortable. And then now at that point I felt like I needed to do what I said I was gonna do. Because
Mhm.
at this point we're looking at each other. But yes, she is
Yes.
still my accountability partner.
Cool. I love that. So Constance Cherry has been on this podcast. She is fantastic. I love her energy and her spirit. And she and Reggie were just at the Empire meeting in Cancun for their first time at the Empire, which can be intimidating, but I know she had a great time because she posted on social about it.
Yeah.
So shout out.
How was it? And she's like telling me. So I was like one of those get ready for this type of a thing. So
Yeah.
so
Cool. Well, shout out to Constance. I love the support and the whole structure and strategy around accountability buddies or partners is something that I received from one of my first masterminds that I was a client in
yeah.
from my coach. She set up the buddies. And so I modeled that for the academy. And I'm glad that you have taken advantage of it and gotten a lot out of it. That's what it's intended for. So that's great. All right. Well, any final thoughts, Dominique, as we lean towards the end of our episode? This has gone super fast. I've loved talking to you today. Anything else that you want to share with the audience about where you're headed in your journey?
Right now, everywhere I'm going is where I need to be. So I appreciate where I'm going and how I'm getting there and all the obstacles that it's putting me through. So I'm grateful for the company and everybody around because without anybody here, I don't know how I would be able to just get up and keep going. But we are headed to creating legacies for my kids, and that's my biggest thing.
Nice. Thank you for sharing that. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks.
Really appreciate you so much. Dominique Gill from Tennessee.
Yes.
And Unique Kids Childcare Centers.
Unique Kids.
Definitely check her out. What is your website? So if people want to come find you, where are you at?
uniquekidscc.org.
Love it.
Yeah.
Are you a nonprofit or are you just .org to look like one?
No, just to look like one.
Cool. Nice. I like it.
We're working on having a nonprofit. So I have been getting some academy members to help me with that too. So yeah,
that's a cool strategy. You can attach a nonprofit onto your for profit, and there's different flavors of how to run that. So awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. Take care and God bless everybody. Thanks for tuning in once again to another amazing episode of Child Care Rockstar Radio. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
I hope you liked this episode of Child Care Rockstar Radio. If you did, please leave a review and share it with someone you know to help spread the word to friends in our industry and on social media. Childcare business success is my passion, and I'm honored to be on this journey with you. As a thank you for listening, I've got a new video training that shows you how to add 6 figures or more of new revenue to your program in the next 60 days by improving your hiring and your enrollment systems. To watch my new video, just go to www.fixmyschool.com. That's fixmyschool.com. Thanks. Take care and God bless.